Operation New Blood, Ubisoft's most ambitious season yet, featuring exciting new content such as not a rework, a reused map you'll never play, new protocol, again, but this time with shitty reskins, new and creative bugs, and of course, a membership the community is sure to love. Taking the game from an all-time high and tanking it harder than Tiananmen Square? What the hell happened? For starters, I know the developer's first language is French, and that means they might not fully understand what certain words mean in English. For example, rework. Generally, when people use the word rework, they mean something along the lines of overhauling or completely changing how something works. In Siege, that means an operator getting a completely different gadget, a brand new gun, or ruining a good map.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
People have a certain expectation of what a rework is, and what they did to Recruit just isn't a rework. They removed the restriction on which two gadgets they can bring, which is good, but it comes at the cost of less gun options and, more importantly, being limited to one per team. But look on the bright side, now you can play Recruit and Ranked. Just ignore the fact that you used to be able to play Recruit and Ranked before they removed them, and the fact that the most common use for Recruit is being a silly little guy in casual.
Watch out.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Seriously, the easiest slam dunk they could have had would be bring back 5-man shield rushing. But, of course, 5 recruits with shields. Well, that doesn't sound very competitively viable. Fun? What's that? Did we sell them in the marketplace? Once again, they took a unique and fun aspect of their game, an operator that everyone can pick at the same time, and they removed what made them fun for the nebulous goal of competitive viability.
Oh no.
Look, Ubisoft, you can redecorate all you want. Move the TV, get some houseplants, maybe clean the sex dungeon, but nobody's gonna care about the feng shui of your design if the house is currently on fire. So while they worked to put that out, they could at least let us have some goofy, wacky fun time and casual. And the best part is, nobody's playing Recruit and Ranked! But to be fair to the Recruit rework, it wouldn't have caught nearly as much flack if it came alongside a new operator or a new map. They made some changes to Stadium Bravo, which is fine, but it wasn't a very popular map already, and they removed it from Ranked, so who cares? They also brought back Stadium Alpha. Again, fine, but also, again,
we do not care.
Okay, so we're a little light on actual content, but maybe the event will be different, and it's Meet Protocol for a third time. A very popular game mode about running and gunning, a type of gameplay they've been systematically removing from the game. Needless to say, but the recent changes have not made this game mode more fun.
This actually might be the worst game I've ever played.
Okay, so the event was a bit of a letdown, but some people do like the skins at least. So maybe we can get some more. Oh, they just recolored the original ones and called it new content. I wasn't aware that Ubisoft pledged to be carbon neutral. They did add some new skins though, like this MP5K skin. But if you want it, you're going to need all 33 skins in the collection, which will cost you a mere $70. And if you bought the original versions, sorry, those don't count towards progress. Buy them again. This is just blatant greed from Ubisoft. This is the first time they've done a collection event, and they combined it with the first time they've done skin recolors. It's just not a good look. So what are some other ways we can scam our player base? Introducing a membership for a 9-year-old game was never going to be popular.
Yikes.
Releasing it during one of the worst seasons ever is going to spike community outrage. And charging $80 for a year is a great way to get your mailbox pipe bombed. And of course, because it's Ubisoft we're talking about, some people didn't receive their membership after purchase.
We're sorry.
Then they released the Warden skin early by accident and had to remove it from everybody's accounts.
Sorry.
Honestly though, good on Ubisoft. I didn't think they'd have the balls to fuck with the people who actually bought the membership. Personally, I've been doing my part by bullying everyone I see who has it. Fight the good fight. Okay, so maybe everything they tried to add was a flop, but hey, at least Siege is still a fun first-person shooter? Hey, what's something you would consider important in a first-person shooter? Perhaps shooting from a first-person perspective? Well, too bad, because the new update completely broke that. If you played as Flores and used his drone, the game would just snap in half, and suddenly you'd be playing a third-person shooter. And even if that bug didn't happen and you got to stay in first person, it wasn't a shooter anymore because his gun could just disappear.
Drake.
And even if that bug didn't happen and you were playing on console, good luck landing any of your shots because they just broke aiming. People have been reporting dead zones on sticks, making aiming extremely delayed and difficult. I'm gonna be honest, guys, I'm not 15, I don't play on console. I'm a PC gamer. I don't know what any of these words mean. You wish you could play Siege like this. And even if that bug doesn't happen to you and you can actually aim, it doesn't matter because the hit registration's absolutely fucked. And not in the usual, how is that not a headshot kind of way, but the game literally rejecting your hits. It's caused when the server can't validate a hit, so it throws it out. Normally this is pretty rare, but in New Blood, hits are getting rejected more than me. In every game mode, people are dodging bullets like they're the president. And it's not just enemies, anything that can be shot, even stationary objects. Because, you know, programming is real hard. You gotta do the coding thing and the implementing thing. Don't worry about debugging though, the players will handle that for you. Okay, so quick update, the hit rejected warning has stopped appearing, even when it is very obvious you're landing shots. Surprisingly, these aren't the only times I can't hit what I'm aiming at. Legion mines apparently are also running dodge builds because you can't fucking break them. Similar to the shots being rejected, this is also a server issue. The server isn't correctly tracking the location of the mine. My game says it's here, my friend's game says it's here.
Right a little bit, right, down, left, up. Yes, right there. Shoot. Down to 1 friend. It's not going away.
The only one who knows where it's actually located is the server, and it's not talking. Something else the game can't keep track of is how many hacks Brava has left. I got a hack left, but it just won't work. Meanwhile, my friend is saying that I have none left. So either the game is broken, or everyone I know is lying to me. Although sometimes it just can't be fucked to work at all. Speaking of lies, grenades. Grenades are not in fact explosive devices. That is liberal propaganda. If they were, why can't they break this castle barricade? Or this barbed wire? I'm also a real big fan of the cameras only showing static. I also like not being able to communicate with my team because the voice chat and the text chat break regularly. It's also fun spawning in after the round already started. And I love the constant visual issues, like the lighting being darker than usual. And whatever the hell is happening here.
What? Cam's working! What is this? What? Everyone just got kicked.
You know, this game might fucking suck. This has been called the worst season in Siege history, and I'm inclined to agree with that. What really doomed it was just how high the expectations were set and how little they delivered. And it really doesn't look good when you compare it to the previous season, Deadly Omen, which had the all-time peak player count. But the only reason this happened was because they brought back the ACOG. People got hyped up thinking Siege was going back to the good old days. But as soon as the charm wore off and people actually had to start playing the game, they saw how bad it's gotten and they didn't stick around for very long. And really, I think this shows Siege's biggest problem. The game has no competitive integrity anymore. Every season, stuff just inexplicably breaks. Fundamental parts of the game will just stop working. Throw on top of this the obvious cheating problem, and I don't know how anyone can take this game seriously anymore. It's a competitive game you can't play competitively. My gun doesn't work, my gadget doesn't work, my secondary gadget doesn't work, my controller doesn't work, the lobby's full of cheaters. It's a fucking joke. Maybe some of these issues will be fixed in the next season, but they're probably just gonna end up creating a bunch of new ones like they always do. But I do feel for the developers because they're in a tough spot. They're using an old game engine that was originally designed for single-player experiences and has since been dragged through a decade of live service hell and updates. It's really showing its age with how unstable the game has become. And the age of the game is also the reason why it's so easy to cheat in. The codebase for this game is really hitting the limits of what it's capable of. In a perfect world, Ubisoft would release a Rainbow Six Siege 2. Just leave all the baggage and spaghetti code behind and just have a fresh new start on a new engine. A game built from the ground up to be a competitive shooter.
But this is not a perfect world.
Game health, community goodwill, and actually having a fun game, those don't matter to the executives. Sure, Siege 2 would be great for the game's health long term, but shareholders only care about making money now, and new games are very expensive. Hell, at this point in the game's life, I don't even see Ubisoft letting the developers do an Operation Health 2. It's not like you can just stop adding content updates and focus on stability and game health. You can't monetize that. And the more I look at what Ubisoft chooses to prioritize, the more it looks like the executives are setting up the game for a pump and dump. Just squeeze as much money out of the game as fast as possible, and then pull out and leave players holding the bag. And if the leaks are to be believed, then Twin Shells is going to bring another repeat game mode with even more skin recolors. But at least it's bringing a new operator and some nerfs nobody wants.
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We are back. Yeah. Classic. We are back.
Will this be the death of Siege? No, obviously not. But it's definitely not in a healthy state. I don't get why people fixate so much on games being dead. It just seems like people want games to fail. Like, a game isn't dead as long as there's a community of people still playing it. I have to believe this. I played Titanfall 2.